UIUX Meetup. My name is Vikas Gavons, and our agenda is quite straightforward today. So we got only one speaker, 1.5. So probably I will entertain you a little bit more about the automotive UIUX stuff if somebody will think it's gonna be interesting. Today's speaker is Rulda Zaric, One to Me Next. It's a very amazing actually story. It's started from Facebook groups, then led to the book, and then turned to startup, Latvian American startup, which actually is accelerated Techstars accelerator already. Pre-accelerated in Techstar accelerator, pre-accelerator in Seattle. So probably it's a very interesting story from my perspective, and I'm really happy to learn about this Latvian success story generally. So generally, why Meetup? Why we go into the meetups and why we're organizing them? So because of networking, because it's kind of underdeveloped here in Latvia a little bit. Peer-to-peer learning, open innovation, startup subculture promotion, public speaking, English skills, emerging technology, entrepreneurship, boost startup ecosystem, international recognition, local ecosystem building, all kinds of stuff. And next time, please bring your friends, projects, speakers, and try this vertical to grow. I mean, designer vertical or UIUX thing. So this is part of Latvian Technology Entrepreneurship Meetup Network. We get 8 groups together: drones, UIUX, mobile applications, automotive, blockchain, startup. Find your co-founder meetup, including that particular group, big data and biotech. This is actually dates for last month, but probably you'll need to check meetup.com, and if you're interested in some sort of vertical, probably this meetup is most closest to the mobile application meetup, because there's a lot of application developers coming in, and they're looking for designers, vice versa. And second group is probably this day after tomorrow will be this startup meetup group with event called Find Your Co-Founder. If you're looking for co-founder, please appear in this particular event and bring your presentation or idea, very raw state, and probably you could find a co-founder there. So a couple of featured events. Since I'm trying to boost Latvian startup ecosystem, I'm a part of this newly developed Latvian Startup Association. We already established as a legal entity, and Wednesday, in March 9 at 5 p.m. there will be Latvian Startup Association launch event in Nordic Clubhouse. There's almost 250 people going in Facebook. This is actually a little bit all that information, including our Ministry of Economics and ex-ministers and a lot of prominent people. So if you would like to be part of it, so please find the Facebook, and it's free, of course, and you could go there. And second hackathon is Garage 48 is coming to Latvia, and guys are organizing this year. They're organizing so-called Chaos Tech in April 15. It's a weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday in a new academic center of natural science of Latvian University. A nice big building in Dortmund. And there's a lot of supporters, and if somebody don't know, so Garage 48 is the most active hackathon, some kind of hackathon network, I would say, born in Estonia, which is dealing with a very short term, 48 hours prototype building, team building event. And this particular is associated with health tech. There's a lot of stuff will be there, hardware, software, so probably if you're, there's usually, they make the team from 4 different people. One is a hustler, then is a hardware engineer, software engineer, and designer. So if you're in, for example, designer category, so you could find out in Facebook, because this event and apply for them, it's worth it, I think. There will be our Architect Week event in Riga. It will be 30 March to 6 April. So if that's Gunita, who is here,
She's working.
Yeah, okay, she's walking. So if you get questions, so you could ask for details there. Well, for the sponsors, so Riga University, which is I'm presenting, is dealing with technology in its foundation, and then we're dealing with technology and international education. First accredited program, bachelor program for startup entrepreneurs, we launched for Riga University. Next year, you also could apply for second class of this bachelor degree. So it's first legally accredited program here in Baltics. So please check them out. Microsoft is sponsoring their free Azure cloud service and BISPAR program. So you could get approximately $2,000 free tools for your startup. If you need, just apply for that and drop me a mail. We'll introduce to that. And Autumn is providing financial support for Meetup groups and yeah, thanks them for food and beer. Latvia is platform created for Latvian startups. And I think it's a very valuable tool for how to get your product or a story to the Latvian audience, because they're mostly they change the policy and writing more for Latvian audience or for international, but still it's one of the hot portals for technology startups here in Latvia. Cube Systems also supporters and Mail is a co-working space which is providing the venue right now. So we could start with speakers. So I would like to give the floor to Lizarinch. Yeah. Thank you. And please tell us your story.
From very beginning or?
Almost from beginning, because I think the story is worth
Okay, I will start from my education. My education background is Art Academy of Latvia. I finished sculpture degree, and I decided to become an artist, like proper artist. And I thought that basically, I was trying to follow my dream, always make art and live from art. And the problem was that I succeed in this field. Maybe it sounds strange, but I really started to live from art. I really started to, earn enough for living. So, I would say that very important is to be careful with the dreams. So when you're setting up the dreams, they sometimes come true. And that was the problem with me. And after like 10 years of carving sand and ice, and I was traveling around the world, and I saw like 40 countries, Asia, Africa, America, and Europe, of course. And then I realized that it doesn't lead anywhere. I kind of do creative things, and I'm getting highly professional. This saying is, let me remember, it was if you start to get bored from your work, it means that you become a professional. So basically that's what happened to me. I started becoming bored of my work. Basically there was nothing new in the field that I was doing. And I had a family at that time, so basically most of the ice and sand carvers, they are single because they have no time for the private relationship. And I had family, and my kids were growing, and they needed it for me. So I decided I have to think, do something about it. So I have to stay home. And there was one passion, what I always had. It is art, besides art, it's anatomy. I really liked anatomy, the human anatomy, especially how it integrates into the art. In the Academy of Fine Arts of Latvia here, like 700 meters from here, there is the education is very classical. So basically, besides the normal classes, you get anatomy classes, and they are not very deep, but they're still anatomy classes. So I decided, well, I have some drawings. What I do before I do some art, I make some sketches. Some sketches how I can translate the reality what I see. with the anatomy knowledge what I had, and then I decided, many of my friends, they started to ask, can you give me this sketch? Because, it's really, helping me to carve. And another one, like, can you give me that sketch? Can you share with this? Can you put it in a Facebook? So I put in a Facebook a few of my sketches, and then I get very good, reviews. People start liking. They say, do you have more of those sketches? Yeah, well, I have some. Can you share? So I was starting to share, and then I decided, well, I can make like a Facebook page, which is especially dedicated for artists, and which is all about the anatomy for the artists. So I made this Facebook page, and in maybe 2 months, I get 12,000 like followers, like in a few months. And then after like another 2 months, I get another like 20 maybe thousand followers. So I had like 30,000 followers, and I said like, we have to do something about it. Then I thought like it's 2000 and let's say 12 outside, and I have to make application. Maybe that's the way to stay home. Maybe that's the way to avoid of working for money, of working for living. So I don't want to work for living, I want to work for fun. And then I thought like maybe I make this magic application. Probably most of you think like I made this like super viral application, and it sells so well that I don't have to work anymore. Basically most of you think like that. And then I can do something that I really like, So some of you maybe like fishing, some of you maybe like bicycling, maybe skateboarding, and maybe traveling, many other things. But the important thing was what I discovered is you have to really listen. What is your hobby? What is your dream? What you actually do after you do work? Because in my company there's like a few workers, and then I always, always want to know what they do after work, And one said like when I finish work, I go home, and then I have this garage, and then I have this car inside, and I just welding and welding and welding. Another one says, oh, I like fishing, So basically, those are your dreams. You have to somehow connect your business with the dream. You have to enjoy your work. You have to be passionate in your work. So, and luckily, I don't have any hobby. The only hobby what I have is anatomy. And then I said like, yeah, maybe I have to make this application, which makes my life complete, And then I started writing in a Facebook, my crowd, 25 or 30,000 people, and I said like, what do you think about this idea to make applications so that every artist just can find any reference material what they like, and they don't need all those like boring, very complicated anatomy books with a lot of text, a lot of very poor images, and it's like when you open, you get like, oh, tired, Artists, they all like Macintosh. Most of the artists, they like Macintosh. And the reason why they like Macintosh is because they just like to consume, they like to just work with computer, not program or code or hack or anything, just work with computer. They just want to use this machine. And Macintosh is designed for just working with computer, nothing else. You cannot really go inside the machine and change something. This machine you can work with. And I thought like anatomy book should be like that. You open and then you use it as a tool. You don't have to really read and try to understand, and you shouldn't understand Latin or something like that. And then I said like, wouldn't be so great to have this application? And people said like, application, yeah, it's so boring. It's so yesterday. Maybe you can write a book. I was like, what do you guys like? But on the other hand, I understand I'm not the coder, I'm not like the programmer or something. I cannot really make application. I can design it because I have the degree, but I cannot really program it. So basically, but I can really make drawings, and I approximately know how to give it to the print, so to make a book. And I have some friends in the printing business. So basically, I thought like I just need maybe 30,000 euros. At that time, it was not euros yet, it was time, it was lots. So maybe 30,000 lots, and then I have like big, then I can print the book. But I didn't really thought about, I was thinking about the printing expenses, but I never thought about like making expenses. Because to make a book, you need the material to make that book from. I mean, like you need the visual material, you need the graphic material that belongs to you. You need time from your primer job to steal for your book. So basically, there's no way. It's just like no way to make a book with the 30,000. Now I understand it. But at that time, I was thinking that 30,000 is enough to print. But I didn't thought that you really need to invest in your life some money because you need to feed your kids. And if you're carving sand and ice, you don't have time to make a book. And then I said, yeah, well, I need some money for the printing. Do you know guys where to get money? Maybe you have guys. Some was like kidding, they said like Kickstarter. And that was like a, that was a new thing, Kickstarter. Everybody is talking about Kickstarter, 2012. And then I said, well, okay, let's try. And then I Googled, and it says you can apply only if you are a U.S. citizen or a green card owner, or if you are British, if you have British passport. And then they're like, okay, I don't have a British passport, I don't have a green card, I don't have American passport, so just leave it, But I was keep making those nice pictures and posting in Facebook, and the group was growing and growing and growing. And then I met my friend Sanders in Germany. It was a sand project. It was terrible spring. It was March, like now. It was in Germany. Imagine in Germany it was like minus 16 degrees, and we carving sand. Minus 16. It was a very cold spring. The Baltic Sea freeze to the Sweden just in March, not in the winter, but in March, 2012 or 13. I think maybe it was 13. It was very, very cold, but not like central Germany, but North Germany, so next to the Polish border. And I was freezing in that tent, carving my sand, and I was thinking, God, can you save me from this? This is hell. Every morning, all sand is frozen. You start morning with a just big like fire torch, and you're melting your sand just to be able to carve. And then I said, Sandis, there's this thing. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be at home, And he said, like, what we can do about it. And he just married in America. And he applied to the green card. And just he get answered from the office, from the immigration office, that he got a green card. And I said, Sandis, there's this thing. I want to make a book, but I don't have money. But there's this Kickstarter thing, but I don't have passport, and I don't have a green card. He said, I have a green card. So that was the beginning, basically. And then in the next day we made a video. Actually, if we can later, or maybe we can now find it, probably will take a lot of time to find the video. It's very funny. It's the first video in the Kickstarter campaign. There's 2 videos. The first one is very funny. So we made it inside in a hotel room. There was this nice curtain. So we took this camera and filmed. In maybe 2 goes, we made the film. We edited it with a iMovie, and then we posted, and they said, that's fine. And then we kept dreaming, And after 1 week, we get the money. And it was $22,000. We asked for the $20,000, we get $22,000. So, and now we have to do something. Basically, it's $22,000 is not enough to survive without work, but we don't have, there's no way back. We have to make that book. So the first thing what we did, we made a company in USA, because it's better for the papers, better for the money thing, and so we made a LLC in USA, and then we started research. Then after that project, I came back and I said I quit for like 6 months, and I worked on a book. I had some, savings, so I was working on a book. It was very funny. We were saving money everywhere, I was renting a little office because of kids. I was not able to work at home because it's just crazy. You're just starting to focus on work, and suddenly daddy, and then you get disfocused for an hour for just nothing, And then I rented a little office without heating, so I had my little electric heater, and I was, really adjusting, It's not too cold and not too warm, so I was really, not spending too much money, so we were saving everywhere. And after about 1 year, the book was released. Basically, it was March, so the next June the book was released. And since that we sold. We also made like an electronic book, how you call it?
Ebook.
Ebook, yeah. I was about to say electric book. And so we made this ebook and the paperback, and we sold something about 4,000 copies. And each copy is something like $100 each. So, and also electric book, yeah. So we basically we had in a brutto we get something about $500,000. but it's not like profit. Still, we had to invest a lot, and then we decided, okay, let's make a next Kickstarter, because we decided that we need to make a extend website and develop some applications, or some, how you call it, internet, no, whatever. Sorry for the, I don't know, like tools, online tools, yeah, for the artists. I'm not very good at that. So because I'm so much focused on the content, I'm sometimes just don't know how to call it. And Sandis, he's a marketer. He's a marketing guy. He lives in Seattle. He divorced already, so he get the next green card. As Richard said, we've been participating in pre-accelerator, Techstars. And it's not really accelerator. It's not the place where you get money. Please, here's your money, you make a business. No, that's the place. It's like a first sift. So basically, there's like a whole bunch of people coming. Well, it's not the first sift. Let's say it's the second sift, because the first sift is something like 60 or 70 people came, and from those 60, 70, 6 startups been picked. So we were one of those 6. And there's one of the rules is you have to. It have to do with IT, But we are like anatomy, art, whatever. So we had to, really focus how we call ourselves. We have to, we really wanted to be part of that pre-accelerator, because there's a lot of good contacts and a lot of knowledge. So we decided, okay, let's focus on this. Internet-based subscription platform. And then on the way of talking with the guys, being inside in the pre-accelerator, talking with those investors, talking with those coaches, we really, this idea what we want crystallized. An idea was a web-based, subscription-based platform for the art teachers. That's the tool what we want to sell. That's this dream application what I was telling in the beginning. So you just put it there and it's there. But the reality, as you know, is not like that. Basically, if you make something, especially if it's subscription-based, it has to be updated and maintained instantly, all the time. You really have to improve your product. Because if you're not improving, people don't see the point why they have to keep paying every month like $100 or $200 just for the product which is there. So maybe I will show you a little bit from that. Okay, there's another thing. But we needed money, desperately needed money. And the easiest way is to make a new. Because we were trying to explain people about this web-based platform to the crowd, and the crowd was like, huh? What do you want? And this second Kickstarter campaign failed. So and then I said, Sandis, we have to, first, if you want to get Kickstarter, you have to be extremely clear. What do you want? And you have to visually somehow sell it. So, and I said, I know how to make books, so let's make a second book, and then we get money, and then we put that money somewhere, invest in all the other dream projects we have. So, and then I came up with the idea, okay, let's make a book for the head and the neck. So before it was a book for the whole body, so I said, okay, let's make a book for the head and the neck. And I said, yes. So we get some, we found one company which makes advertisements. They're making advertisements. So we asked her, can you make a video? Because the first one was really crap. It was really like a homemade video. So we wanted to have like professionally looking, nicely edited with a special effects video. And then we came to the one company in Seattle and asked her, how much would it cost? And they said like, well, yeah, $10,000. Yeah, do you have guys? And I was like, 10,000, that doesn't, maybe cheaper. And they said like, okay, we have some, like beginners, like editors and, film directors, beginners. And they are very good, they make stuff for us. So maybe you ask them, it will be cheaper. So we went to them and said like, can you make this nice video for the Kickstarter? And they said like, well, 6,000. It's like $6,000. No, it's too much still. And then we came up with the idea, okay, if we get Kickstarter, we pay you 6,000. If we collect the money. But if we don't get the Kickstarter, we pay only 4,000. Deal? Deal. So we made a video. We collected instead of we were asking something like, I don't remember how much, but we got we asked like 25 or something thousand, but we got 44,000. So basically, we paid the guys, and we had enough money to live a little bit. So, and the book is selling better and better every month. So basically, we had something about from $10,000 to $20,000 income every month extra, just from the book. It is not it's not a pure income; it's brutto. Basically, we have to pay if we print it. If we print paperbacks, we have to invest in printing. Also, the company running expenses in Seattle is quite expensive, but still, it's income, and it's quite good for the startup, for the books. And nowadays, who sells books? Nobody sells books. And actually, that was in the very beginning. That was one of the things that I realized, that if you are author, and if you want to succeed like an author, only thing what you can hope on is to become famous, maybe. But you cannot really earn money, because the printing companies, only thing what they offer you fame, in case if your book sells well. And that's it. They don't really, and then they say, okay, you get 8% from royalties, deal, and the printing rights belongs to us. It's totally like bad. But I can understand, because the book business is really going down because of the, the how you call it, when you self-publishers. Yeah, that's the name. Self-publishers, and because of the self-publishing companies, the big editing companies, they're really going. The publishing companies, they're really going down. So they really trying to get money everywhere they want. They can. So. Maybe if a little bit back in history, when we printed the book, we made a tour, a West Coast tour. So we sat in a car, and from Seattle we went to all possible colleges and art schools from Seattle to LA. It was sleeping in a car and cheap hostels, and eating in McDonald's, things like that. It was terrible, actually. It was a terrible experience, but it was huge and then finally we went to Hollywood, and then went to this like famous special effects schools where they teach, like a cinema makeup school. It was like very famous, one of those. Then UCS, it's University of South California, which is that's basically the place where all the special effects and all the film directors for the Hollywood are produced there. And we went to, and they just opened the CG class for the guys who make the characters for the films and games. So we made friends with them. Then we went to the Pasadena Art School, which is the most famous design school in the world. And in that school there's a guy called Ray Bustos, and he's my hero in anatomy. Basically, he is the one of the first 3 guys in art anatomy in the world. And I made friends with them, and he was like asking, "Can you guys bring me your book? I really love your book." I was like, wow, like it's just crazy. So in one hand, this trip was like really trash because of the life we had. But on the other hand, we met like guys who made the Avatar film, the guys who made like from the Pixar. So we met like a lot of like really big names, and they were and they were proud. Imagine the guy who made Avatar, he was proud to show his works to me, and I was like, wow, and it sounded to me like this American dream, thing that you see in the movies, and it's like it just can't be, but it was like that. So, and then we came back to the Seattle, and Seattle was already, trip to the South California, the autumn came, the weather changed. So from the sunny, nice weather, we came back to the rainy, slashy Seattle, and then back to Latvia. Whoa. So it was very, from the very high up to the very down, to the reality with the things like that. So So what else? Maybe I can show you a little bit of some visual materials, some pictures, so you understand more. Because one thing is to tell, and as I always say, like one picture is 1,000 words worth. The same thing like video is 1,000 pictures worth. Maybe not so many videos, but I can show you some pictures, and I'll try to show you something. And now we have only almost 70,000 followers. And the funny thing is, we had a post this a few days ago, which went viral in the internet. We have more than almost like 700,000 individual looks, and almost 3,000 likes, which is quite a lot. And something like almost 3,000 shares, which is even more important than just separate looks. So I'll try to somehow to navigate this. So basically, if you look at this picture, you understand the simplicity and the visual language what I use to explain complicated things. So my goal is to avoid text. My goal is to avoid the boring explanations. Just one little picture which shows you like. But I think you guys maybe are bored with these things. I'll show you a photograph. Another thing, the second book is based on 3D. And for that reason, I learned the 3D program. And for that reason, we made a photogrammetry rig, if you know what I'm talking about. That's a scanning tool to scan the faces and the body. There's so many things to tell you guys. It's really, I'm so confused that I don't know where to start from. But I'll try to show you some pictures. Okay, and we also have an application with the, how do you call it, augmented reality. So this is the mobile application. So you have a picture, or you have like a graphic trigger, and then you have a 3D model. And then as soon as you point to the trigger, it appears, this 3D object appears. And the Latvian guys made it, so I don't remember the name of the company who made it, maybe you know.
Yeah, it's not Giraffe 360, it's...
yeah, the same, they work in the same place.
The same office.
Yeah, the same office. So they made amazing stuff. So they made this application. This application is ready for the new book.
Overlay.
Overlay, yes, exactly. So an idea is that we make a new book, and every page in a new book is as a trigger. So basically, if you have an application, and if you have a smartphone or iPad, you can see the pages in a book in 3D. Basically, you can extract the two, you can convert the 2D objects from the pages and convert them to the 3D objects. So, this. So, and the scientist is making screenshots of this. But of course, if you see the flat picture, it has nothing much to do with the 3D. So, and later I will show you this web-based platform. Inside in that platform, we have not only the graphic materials. Graphic is actually the funny thing that graphic in English, it means something really terrible. But in Latvian, graphic is just visual. Okay, pictures and videos and sketchfab links. Basically, you can open not only, I'll show you, I understand. You're looking at me and you think like, what the fuck are you talking about? Sorry. But you really need to see the application. But this is little insight in this new tool for the teachers. So basically, why our tool, not PowerPoint, for example? Because our tool is integrated in our website, where you can get like all the materials for the presentations, and by just clicking plus, you adding them to the presentation folder, and later you build up presentations. And there's also a communicator with the students, and there is also a communicator with the different other teachers in the field. And you can put on the, you can use not only the pictures and videos from our website, but you can use the pictures and videos from the external sources. You can put your own book inside and present it in our platform. And And instead of just flat pictures, now we're building, oh, it's a different one. Instead of flat images, now what I do, I'm building 3D anatomy. Basically, if you look in the internet, you find a lot of 3D anatomy. But the problem is that 3D anatomy, what is in the internet, is that is made usually for the doctors. It's not so much about the form. And the other thing is it's quite usually it's quite poor quality also. And we are very much focused on. You probably are interested in something else. And we also co-work try to work with other creators of the other applications. But besides the objects they have, they can also show the objects that we make. This is a picture from the Pasadena. That's the wrong picture. Okay, I'll show you the website we have. So this is the website, and this is my profile. I'm logged in, and these are the teacher tools what we built. 3D scan library. That's a library of different scans. For example, you can choose age, nationality, body type, and stuff. And then very slowly. And then each of those presentations, each of those 3D objects, you can integrate into your presentation. Do you think it's going to open?
No.
Doesn't go up very nice, right now. They're supposed to be 3D pictures, and I want to open at least one so you understand what I mean. Varbūt ir vajadzīgs kaut kāds plugins, ne?
Tas ir Sketchfab?
Tas ir Sketchfab, jā.
Nevajadzētu.
Nav taču taisies, jā. Okay. Maybe it will. Bet tam vajadzēs atliekties. Domā, kompilēt, jā? And also, if you buy the subscription, you get the first book, ebook for free. Basically, you can view that book inside in our website. And of course, you can make screenshots and share it in torrents, if you like. But the thing is, why we don't afraid that our intellectual property is stolen? We're afraid, of course, but we don't afraid so much as other people do. And I explain you why. The thing is why we kind of don't afraid, because we focus on not on the product but on a service. Because nowadays I see the trend that that the products are not so much worth as the service which is provided. So basically, if you have good product but you have lousy service, then nobody will buy you. And of course, if you have perfect service and lousy product, it will be the same problem. But the problem with with IP, they are very well protected in USA, but they are almost not protected in Europe and totally not protected in Eastern Europe and in Asia. So basically, if you have we have a lot of requests from the Asia to buy the rights, the printing rights. Many requests from Japan, from the South Korea, and from China. Recently, we had like few, but the IP lawyers in USA, they say don't do that. Even if it's Japan, there is not enough. There is not enough tools to fight with them. Basically, you lost. It is out of the jurisprudence of the American law system. So when they are solving the problems, maybe you have some questions.
Hi, I have sort of marketing question. How did you manage to get so many followers in just these first couple of months to this sort of community page? What did you do? Where did you?
What language were you posting on?
Sorry?
What language were you posting on?
Of course, English. Actually, the first website that I made many years ago, maybe 10 years ago. No, I don't make website. I asked somebody to make website for me. It was only English. And since that time, I decided to myself, if somebody wants to, from the Latvian audience or from Russian or Chinese audience, they want to read, they will always find a way to read. And the artist's thing is that you don't need so much words. If you want to show art and if you want to sell art, you just want to, only thing you need to know is just show the art. But of course, we developing the language thing. Now we have the second edition of the first book, which is in French. And now we're planning the Japanese translation. The funny thing about this big crowd, these 70,000 followers, is you always find somebody who can do it for free for you. It is a hard work. You need to re-edit afterwards. You need to check the spelling and everything. You need to. We calculated if you find somebody who can translate to you for free, together with re-editing and little work of the graphic designer, it's about 1,000 euros against, let's say, 10,000 or maybe even more.
Did you spend any money marketing, or was it?
Yeah, of course, but not that much. Basically, we have policy that which is we put the post, and then if we see it goes good, then we put some money inside into the paid marketing.
So was it just Facebook? Paid ads?
Facebook, yeah, Facebook. We have another social media like Twitter, and but the problem is with that you really need stuff to maintain all the things. So we have Facebook, and the others are just they basically what they do they it's like a repost from the Facebook, and it's not so much focus. But we have all the other big medias like Pinterest and Tumblr. We have, but I wouldn't call it serious.
So what's the ratios? 1x to how many x to get to say that were typical? Do you estimate like that actually?
How many people make? No, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. The Sanders, he knows the numbers exactly. I know approximately numbers. So, but I know numbers. I know the numbers. What I need to know from numbers. For example, if I put the post, and if I get. I'm not so good in math, but I'll try to explain here. Basically, if you multiply with 10 and then with 2, then you get. If you have 10 likes, for example, yeah, you multiply with 10, it's 100, and then with 2, it's 200. So if you have 2 likes and 200 views, then it's a good number. I observed that's like average. But we recently, like yesterday or 2 days ago, we had this crazy, it's enormous traffic. We had 600,000 views on one post, and then we get like 3,000 likes and something like that. And the sales like going crazy now. We're selling books and
So
everything.
is it just one venue, Facebook, and that's it?
Yeah, it's one post on Facebook, and then we get sales. It's just, but I think it's also very important how you connect these, how you connect this post. There is a way how you connect this post with the closing of sale, and it's very important because we have this e-shop where you go in, and then it's kind of and we can follow the traffic also, and it's quite easy to make a decision and pay. And I'm very happy that our developers, our programmer team, they made this very intuitive and very nice, easy way of buying the products. We are not perfect, but we're focusing very much on how easy is to make is to close the deal if you are interested in the project. So it have to be very convenient to go to the shop and then to make a deal. So it's to purchase the product. So. Electronic and paperbacks, they're selling very well. Now we're developing many other projects, like for example physical, like anatomy models, but it's in a production stage, and it will be like a second product besides the e-products and the online tools. Because the problem with the physical objects is you have to spend money on producing, and then you have to ask money from the customer for the shipping, and then you have to pay customs, and then in the end it's very expensive. And but we want to keep the customer happy. And the electric books, those are the best, because we don't have to produce them.
Where are most of your sales coming from?
USA is something about if we look at the map, it's something like 30% USA, 30% Europe, and 30% the rest of the world, including the South America. So basically, from South America is Brazil. It's only like a big customer, like a really big customer. You can feel it. Then a big customer is Japan. I would say from the whole Asia, maybe half of the purchases is Japan. And big customer is Russia. It is strange, but it is true. But it's mostly electric books, not the physical paperbacks. Because with the paperbacks, there's a problem of getting in, and then it's the system of the post system and all the other things are not very convenient in Russia at the moment.
Do you have any partners in the States, or is that shipping towards you?
No. In the States, there is my partner, my second business partner. He lives there in Seattle. And there is a team also which does all the shippings and labels and all the crazy things like that. So we have few people there who like daily working on the shipping, and then we print in America for the American market, and then we print in Europe for the Asia and Europe market. So to avoid the extra expenses, so to make the book more available for the customers.
And is the price point the same depending on the region?
It's integrated inside into the market to the shop. Basically, when you make a purchase, it's inside in the price. So we can change the price if there is suddenly something gets more expensive. For example, they make changes in law, and the shipping becomes more expensive to that country. We're putting into the price. We're changing in an algorithm. We're changing it. So basically, when you're making order, you get the price with all the shipping and headings and stuff.
What I'm saying is, it's not like 100 real in Brazil and then it's $200.
No. I think it's no point. It's okay. I think it's okay. What do you think? Would be nice to have beautiful pictures, but I think we'll survive somehow. You saw something at least, and if you are interested, you can always check from the Anatomy Next Facebook page and also from the website if you like. I think you are more here to hear the backstories, stories from the backstage, how we started. I cannot, of course, remember everything, but if you have any questions, particular what are you interested in, don't hesitate to ask me, and I will try to tell you. And I tell you again, I'm behind the computer and making the content. And I'm not so much into the sales and marketing, but I know something. I know a little bit of numbers, and I know something, but not too much. But about the prices, yeah, there's a thing because like American, for example, we also sell in Amazon, and in Amazon it's very important because Amazon give you a reputation. Because in Amazon there is you can always read the comments, and if you have a good rate, the people trust you, and Amazon takes quite a big percentage, especially if you make them automatic fulfillment. So if you send them, and they maintain all the stuff, then basically it's not so profitable. It's more profitable. I think we have 70% of sales is electric book, and then 30% is shared by the physical paperbacks. Not so many more. In the beginning, it was like 90% was a paperback, but it's because it's so expensive book. People buy electric, and I like it because with electric you can always update it, and you can always you don't have to physically print and then be worry about the quality, because we give the 100% quality guarantee. So in case if the book breaks, they make a picture of the broken book and we ship them a new one. So it's very important, and it costs quite a lot, these kind of replacings, and we don't want to take that risk. So that's why I like electronic books.
You mentioned that you could emphasize it on the service side. So can you elaborate on what services do you provide extra on the platform?
On a platform?
Yeah. So you can buy models for your own use, or
yeah, if you need, but
how you do upsell the things?
Yeah, we try many many ways how to monetize the stuff we make, and there is not so much purchases from people who would like to buy 3D models. 3D model. That's a thing about like an artist. That's like something to do with the ego. If you're an artist, I know many artists, they buy the 3D scans and then they're using as a reference or as a base mesh, but they don't tell anybody because it's a shame. And that's a problem because they don't want to share this information with the friends. So basically it's like a dead end. They get interested, they buy the product, and they never tell nobody, they just use it silently. And that's what we're not interested in. We are interested in some products which people, they want to come out to the roof and tell everybody that they have this beautiful product. For example, with the book, it's not a problem because it's not a shame to have a good book. But it's sometimes they feel ashamed that they have some good 3D model, so they can resculpt it and make it as their own sculpture. So that's a problem.
So how do you solve this problem?
We are trying to sell the information instead of products. We try to sell more like convenient tools for sculpting instead of like physical objects, not physical. Okay, let's say OBJ files, if you know what I mean.
How long did it take you to develop this platform?
Again?
How long did it take you to develop your platform?
It's still in development. I mean, it is this platform. I would say maybe 4 or 5 months till we start to sell it, and then now it's in a trial. So we don't know. Basically, we just started to give subscriptions, and it's a trial. So after like few months, we will see how many of those people are still willing to pay, and that's going to be a very tricky moment.
Yeah, I have a question. I met one artist here in Riga from Finland, and he well, he was sculptor too, but he was interested to have an online gallery of his works in his webpage. Are you thinking about this kind of idea and how you will comment this?
The stuff what I make, I don't share I don't want to show anybody or whatever, because it's hard to say from my personal experience. But I think there is such platforms. For example, the Sketch Club, this one, what I was trying to open. Basically, if you have a 3D mesh and you want to have this gallery, you basically can put it into the SketchUp. Of course, the quality will be reduced, but still, you can share.
It's like he has a physical sculptures and he needs to
You
scan
can
before.
3D scan and import it in SketchUp and then share the link.
Okay, then if he sends us the scan, then he needs to scan it first.
Yeah.
But he has scans.
He has only his sculptures.
Okay. I would say you that this scanning technology is developing like really, really fast. And if now there is like a 100 different ways to scan, and it's still very, very low quality, and it needs to have quite a big after cleanup and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's developing, and I think maybe after 1, 2, 3 years, everybody will be able to scan with the phone. And the last thing is not scanning with a photograph. Like now you have to make like 1,000 shots, and then there's a program called Recap 360, which is most popular, which creates the 3D object. But the problem is with this, the object have to be really still. Yeah, that's why the photogram 3 rig is the tool with let's say we have 16 cameras, but like a big rigs they have like 140 cameras, and they make one shot simultaneously. And there's one program which creates this 3D object, and it takes enormous power from computer, and it takes enormous. It just
and it costs.
And it costs. If you want to make this one figure is something like 6,000 British pounds to scan, and it's just one shot. But I can understand those guys invested in DSLRs. It's something like 100,000, 150,000. It's just enormous. Now DSLR is getting more cheap. Okay, now you can buy, let's say 70,000, but still it's big money, and you want to get that money back. And there's maybe 3 big companies in the world which provide this service, scanning service. One in Britain, and few in America. But I tell you, after like a few years, this technology will be everybody can have it, and it is no point now to make this gallery if people are not able to make a good high quality scans. There is some apps in iPad and iPhone where you can scan and then you can share. It's kind of like a Facebook, like a social network, but for the scans.
Yeah.
But it's so lousy. No, not yet.
Because his sculptures is kind of very costly, and then his clients is like from Abu Dhabi, and then it's very famous.
Yeah, it is
people.
possible. We
That's
can.
right,
Yeah, we can make very high quality scan if it's needed. But then we have to take our scanner. But in the case if this guy, it will not be this huge rig with 100 and more cameras. It will be because now I'm getting into the technology. So okay, there is 3 types of scanning. One is laser scanning. It's very old-fashioned and very low quality. Second is a photogrammetry, which is like with the photogrammers, and the third is structured light scanner. And structured light scanner is basically a beamer and a camera. And a beamer projects the patterns, and the camera reads the patterns and understands by this distortions of the patterns, they understands what is the shape in front of the camera. And then you turn it, and it again projects the patterns, and the camera films. And it's like a super high quality scans. Like it makes just, if it scans the jacket, you can even see the fibers, and you don't almost know afterward. But the problem with this is it doesn't take it does not take the image and the color.
Yeah.
You have to, with the camera, have to take pictures, and then you make UV map, and then you place that UV map on top of this object. So it's still some afterwork. If you want to have colored, nice, but the physical scanning is like super high quality. In Latvia there is one scanner which is able to do that. We don't have it.
Thanks.
Jā, nu varbūt tu pieslēdzi?
Jā,
Tu esi ielogojies, ja?
So right now for each new feature, you raise money using Kickstarter and your like community base?
No, not from each. Now we're trying to survive with money we earn from the sales. We don't raise it. Now we have this. Es domāju, ka šis ir tā kā privātais. Tas nav profesionālais. Es domāju, kaut kā būtu vairs. Tas nav tas. Vienkārši tev ir parastais. Tu viņu te taisīji. Tikko. Varbūt tas īpaši ir savējā. You can see how slowly I'm typing. I'm a real artist. Something is wrong. Okay. Nē. Man liekas, ka nē, man patīk.
Ir komats.
Jā. Tā, komats. Aiz džīnā šeit, jā? Okay. Something's still not working. Oh, yeah. No, tas ir to es, jā, nu, jā, ok.
Mēs parādīšu kaut kādu fonofīšu.
Fonofīšu. Давай es parādīšu. I cannot log in, but I can show you from the maybe Facebook page. There is some. Nē, es tev pakaļ. Tas ir vēlreiz. Tas ir neeksploatē. Arī, kur viss ir instrumenti?
Nu, jā.
Kāpēc jau varbūt nevar ielabot? Jūs ielabot?
Jā, viss kārtībā. Ok.
Viņš nevarētu pēc.
Tas ir tas iepriekšējais.
Šits viņam pa smagu būs. Fērāli pastāv.
Sveidinu, ka
Tad jau viņš arī tur nevarēs.
Nē, tas ir skoli.
Tu plugin nav, jā? Tev arī ir plugin. Vai, klausies manā, tev tas viss ir šādā. Okay, there's one. Yeah. No. This is different. Okay, this is the one. This is one of what I'm trying. but it's very slow. So this is the way to teach the artist to understand the complicated forms in a simple manner. So I explained the cranial skeleton is an egg and then the face. So actually there's more. Then you need to see the whole tutorial. It's quite hard to explain. But there's some screenshots from. Okay, this is also one screenshot from the application we have. And okay, I'll try to find some. This guy also went viral. Basically, because of this gift somebody gave me, and I shared, we get quite a lot of new likes. So it's 1.3 thousand. It was a very good beginning for. These are not videos. I found some JPEG with this symbol of like video playing, and there's text that says how to trick an idiot. And before I read the text, I clicked on it. So this is a similar case. No. It's opening.
Oh yeah.
So we have scanned faces, and we have something like I don't know exact number, but quite a lot of models scanned already. And the scanner which was used to scan these people are now brought into the Nviga. So if you are interested, if you want to be scanned, you're welcome in my office, and I'm going to scan you and turn you into the reference material if you are interested. And we need the different racial types. I'm looking at you. I'm very interested in a little bit darker skin, a little bit different, nationality, because we're building this reference for the artists, and they need different facial types, different national types, different body types, different ages, and stuff like that. So, and this is very. I think it's nice tool for the artists, not only for the sculptors, but also for the painters and the illustrators. They just turn, and then basically you can even change the lighting, and then you make the drawing. And the book will be about like the head and the neck. So all these expressions and emotions will be analyzed, but that's more for the guys who are interested into the making art. So I don't know how many artists were here. So
I've been studying that for architectural reasons.
So
To enter school, if that's possible.
So this is very deep. In case if you are interested into the expressions, but for example, there's this the guy in San Francisco. Maybe you heard Paul Ekman, and he's a psychologist who developed this facial action coding system. Basically, he classified he grouped the facial expressions, the muscle groups. And he gained the number, but each muscle group makes different contractions. For example, this is action unit number 1 and number 2. This is action unit number 4. This is action unit number 6. This is action unit number 12 and number 6. So basically, you can give index to every expression, And this American guy, he's very old already. He's maybe 70 or maybe even more years old. And whenever I go into his website or any, the stuff he makes, it's all so old-fashioned and and so terrible quality. And nowadays we have this is the iPad time, and he have these poor black and white drawings, and he sells the courses, online courses to teach people to learn the facial expressions, for the police and for the customs and for the different reasons for artists and stuff. And the course something like $600 or $700, and then you get this black and white PDF with the arrows, Come on. So maybe the whole thing we're developing will be also can be used for the other people than artists. And another thing is there's in 80s there was one I don't exactly know which university, but in USA what they did, they took the dead person, I'm sorry, and then they put it into the tank, and then they freeze it. Is that guy? And then they were cutting layer by layer and making pictures of each layer. And they have, we wrote them a letter. Can we get some of those pictures? And they said, oh, we can give you all. It's like 50,000 photographs. You just have to sign this agreement that you're not gonna, do bad stuff about it, and you don't tell that it's yours. But you can even still make money on it. You can sign this contract, and those 50,000 photographs are yours. High quality pictures of, or the cross sections. And then it's like, wow. And the quality is much better than MRI. You know the MRI when you go, slide, and it's very bad quality. But this is like photographs of layers. For example, face, the head is sliced in like 300 slices, just head. So it's just less than a millimeter. And we, what we can do, we can make the application for the radiologists and doctors, so they can use, for the teaching. So basically, what we're trying to do, we're trying to go off the field of the art to the field of medicine, and that's actually one of our challenges. And that's actually, if we remember the pre-accelerator that we had, this Techstars, and you say that's what also the investors said. Yeah, art is it is 100 million market. It's nothing. We need at least a billion market. Then they said, yeah. Medicine, yes. Art, no. So basically, they are the big fishes. So I don't know how about here. Probably in Latvia is a different caliber. It's a different size. But in USA, the big investors, they need like a huge market, and the market what we were serving to is too small, and that's why we really now trying to. When we finish with this, we start to invest into the medicine. So we already have some good contacts in Washington University. With the Palestinian University and many other places, so it's developing. Yeah.
Okay, any questions for Olsa?
How do you reach your audience?
How do I reach? What do you mean?
Your audience, sculptures around the world. How do you get to them to sell your ebook or hardcover book?
Power of mouth, or how you call it, power of word. It just spreads. Basically, when we do Facebook posts with viral pictures, it really helps to sell the stuff. It really helps.
And what are your competitors at the moment in the market?
Primary competitors. There are a few companies. There's few American companies. One British guy. And we don't have like. I didn't find like a real like a competitor, like exactly like competitor, like similar to us something. They usually try to sell like lectures or like tutorials for the artists, and usually it's for the 2D artists. But the 3D art world is enormous because of the gaming, because of the film industry. Like I was kind of surprised when I knew that the daily amount of people which go into the Twitch. You know what is Twitch? Have you heard about Twitch?
Yeah.
90 million a day people going to watch how other people playing games. 90 million every single day, or maybe even more. Maybe it was a billion. No, billion is too much. But 90 million. It is okay. It's not Facebook, which has just recently reached billion. But still, it's just like 90 million daily. They're watching how other people are playing games. So the gaming and the film industry is enormous. It's huge, and it's still growing. And because of the virtual reality and the augmented reality things, which are also forced by the big companies now, I don't say that it's very popular now, but it's the big companies like Apple, for example, Microsoft, like HTC, many other like Samsung, they putting billions and billions. They're really pushing that market. They're really pushing the hardware producers to be able to run all the stuff what the software developers develop, because the softs are now they are there, but the machines, they are not able to run that stuff. You know, all these glasses and stuff, they are there. They are ready to be produced, but for example, the problem is the battery life, weight, and also people are not used to, and there is different kind of like mental and health issues with this, and they've been solved each by each, and one day it will become a huge market. Like for example, like iPad. People not craving for iPad. iPad was just, this market was just made like the how you call it, plank?
Tablets.
Tablets. The tablet market was just artificially made. Same like virtual reality. It is not organic development of the, in my opinion, it's not organic development of like technology. It is really forced, and it's forced very hardly now.
Maybe it's appeared as like 3D television and goals.
Yeah, but technically, yeah, I saw the 3D screen, like a 3D screen. So video camera, Sony video camera with a 3D screen without any glasses, so you can see in the screen the stuff. I saw that 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was there. So people already producing cameras with a 3D screen, because it was a cinema camera, you know, and probably it was guys from the Sony, and they were filming an ice event for promotion. So, and the camera was not some kind of like you know, trial version of camera. It was like produced. So basically, technology is there. Only thing is the market is not ready to take it. And sometimes they're trying to, for example, like 3D screens and television, they're trying to sell, and people are like, huh? We don't want it. And they're okay. And after a while, they're again trying, and market is not taking it. But one day it will take it.
It's like right now, it's already too much. It's pushing too much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Films is pushing that.
It is a lot. It's huge. But for example, in this Techstar, we saw that we met the guy. He's a Russian guy, and his startup was about, he's developing the software for the oilers with augmented reality. So basically, I'm sitting in the office, and there's an oiler standing on the oil platform, and he have to fix the problem. And the guys from the office showing in the virtual reality with the arrows and painting with everything and showing and giving the, you know, a tutorial how to fix the problem. So he was developing that thing, and the same thing that NASA also is very interested into the things, because when you are in a space, you need, you know, some solutions, and there is no assistance, and then, you know, the JPEG is not working. So you really need some 3D stuff to show, and this ability to show stuff in a 3D world, in almost reality world, is amazing. And I think it will start from the military, from the space, and then go down slowly to the normal market. I see
It's like a kind of normal technology developing from military to the
in Soviet Union, I would
yes,
say.
it's not only.
In America, sometimes it went other way around, from the commercial up to the military. But military was always, if they are interested, they always, you know, helping the technology to be developed.
They have like a big amount of money.
They have, yeah. And the funny thing about that money, what they have, it's not their money, so they're very easy with spending.
Yeah.
Okay, probably last question for all this.
Last question sounds very fatal.
Last question for today. No question? Okay, thank you. It was very good speech. Yeah, thank you. And probably I will continue on, I will be in the second half of the speakers, and probably I will try to bore you. Thank you. I will show the rest of my presentation properly. So, so those who are still here, probably I get an opportunity to tell about Probably I already told about it, but there's a couple of more things about user interface automotive application, and this is thing we are developing in which I'm developing in my spare time, so-called self-driving plugin. Probably market is still not ready for that, but hopefully will be very soon. And it's hardware plugin on top of the car, every car, and tablet with application. And previously I told a couple of designers about challenges how to make nice user interface design for automotive application. This is actually our first trial, and we're not very. It's not seems very good until now. So we take a look at the mood boards, and there's a couple of nice examples from industry. The only things that I were able to find for self-driving stuff is Tesla Model S. And there's one student who made this from Brussels, who made some kind of alternative look of 17-inch screen, touchscreen of Tesla. It seems very nice, but there's a couple of problems for self-driving, because it's not actually user-friendly for self-driving feature as itself. It's still kind of more acting like the user interface for car itself. So there's a couple of screenshots from industry. There's a lot of some sort of 3D stuff going on right now, but there's only a couple of them are very useful. So based on that, we found out some sort of we need to develop some sort of first sketch or whiteboard. So this is actually some ideas how it should look like. So if there's still some sort of automotive UI designers here in Latvia, probably tell me. Probably I would be happy to talk with you, but till now we didn't find anybody who's developing user interface for cars. So this is start screen for an Android tablet. As you see, there's small stuff of pilot like application button. This is an application launch screen. This is the first time the users put in this application. You should select your car if it's not automatically selected, so you should select your make, model, year. And next is actually how it sees this project in development mode. So it's pretty simple, like Apple Watch kind of stuff. If you would like to run this application full mode, you need to buy this roof module, which is actually pre-ordered in button like this. So you go to the pre-order site in this case, and this application is free. Or you can switch to demo mode. In demo mode, we decided to move in this direction, like in big navigation tabs on a button. And this is how should look this home screen. So you can see the pictogram of car. Car actually could be aligned to your exactly model, car, and color. And you see it's a 3D, some sort of imagery there. There's active road signs recognized by the cars. There's steering, braking, acceleration, some sort of information, which is actually, I don't know, it's very valuable for driver, but we put it for technology addicted first adopters, early adopters. This is most valuable feature until now, this emergency screen. So if system detecting some sort of emergency, it turns red and starts audible warning you about some kind of proximity warnings or something like that. And this is actually a feature which is you can find many of cars, production cars. Nobody knows how look like how this Google Cupcake self-driving car user interface look like. But definitely in Tesla there is no possibility to set your driving targets. So this is actually a pretty new screen that we combine this navigation stuff with the self-driving stuff, and here you could put your, like in Waze, you put your target where you're going, and this target thing is showing in the right side. So it's pretty simple, like in Waze or any navigation apps. And there's a couple of buttons on driving profile, mild, sport, so you could choose what presets is your car should use. There's a green button, not button, but information sign that autopilot is on. This is the second screen for dashboard. It's pretty simple because there's no self-driving involved. Just it's showing the OBD2 car different sensor information. This is a parking mode, so yeah, it's kind of not very new for industry. So just only one big button start, which is car should park in your this particular space. This is actually the challenge how to make navigation screen 3D mode, because there's no a lot of open source 3D maps available for navigation. But we found out this feature from testing, so very interesting. And map mode we could select from 3D to flat. And this is a front view, so you could connect to your front view camera on a roof module. This is a rear view, left view, right view, and a setting page. So this is still, it's hard to predict how this user interface and buttons should look like in order to be user friendly, but there's at least some ideas what information should be placed there. So road rules, possibility to choose default country for speed limits, traffic rights, and other stuff. Roof module configuration, so you see the modules which is implemented in a roof or model. If you need some kind of additional model, there's some sort of other page. Safety settings, so big buttons for emergency braking, auto parking, proximity warning, distance, how big you would like to set on. And there's the drive-by-wire settings for your car. It's detecting which features are available in your car, like steering or braking or accelerating by wire, and it's a possibility to enable or disable them. And DriveNet thing is actually connecting those plug-in modules, and this is still in development, but this is subscription based, and you could act in two modes, teacher and student. So if you're a teacher, you are feeding DriveNet with your driving habit information in order for other drivers to learn this artificial intelligence model. And yeah, subscription information. If you're a student, you're just using your the average driving habits which whole network has developed. So real-time mode, this is based on subscription, big button, switch on, switch off. And download frequency, because there's a waste of amount of data, so you could choose how much, what is the frequency of data should be sent to the driver through the 4G connection. So yeah, that's pretty it. So just want to tell about that we are developing that, and if you can get some idea that there's still some sort of UIUX automotive designer not waiting to help on that, so I would be happy to talk with you. Any questions on that?
Why don't you use symbols instead of letters?
Where?
Yeah, you're using a lot of text instead of symbols.
Oh yeah. Good question, because I don't know how should look this rear view button, for example. And I can't hardly imagine what could be symbol for self-driving or autopilot.
You can involve. I mean, you know, I discovered one thing, that you need way less time and effort to understand what is it about if you just have to, if you look at the symbol instead of the text, because text consumes a lot of energy.
Agree.
And basically, what I
So yeah, this is yeah, but this is a
but it can be dubbed. I mean, it can be a symbol and the text.
as and the application, so it's not mouse over like you could
Okay.
you can't easily. Yeah. So any more questions?
Ну, tagad ir
Okay, so yeah, so at the very end, so there's announcements, if there are limits, so please feel free to say something about your project.
I can tell something because
Yeah.
I have a startup and I'm really looking for user interface, user experience designers. Like we are building platform for business consultants, financial consultants, lawyers, and sales marketing, and and a lot of kind of consultants, and we are already 10 people team, and developing fast because we need to be the first to make this in the world, this kind of system. And we will use, like from technical side, real-time video. Like we will implement opportunity to use Skype, Google Hangouts, Periscope, Blabber, and Apera. And yeah, and the market is big. It's a year 300 billion. We are aiming at 1% and more. So after 3 to 5 years, we are already. I know. The exit strategy would be LinkedIn. LinkedIn would be a very good buyer for this. So yeah, we are like our aim goal is to be Latvian Skype story. That's why after 4 months we already have 10 people team. I think very good people. We have 4 girls, 6 guys working on that. The backend is already 70% ready, and afterwards there will be iOS, Android, and web applications, which we are making. But we need designers. So if anybody is interested, I'm here, and I'm free to ask if someone wants to know more about this. And the name of this is Finergy, and my name is Oskars. So yeah, please, you're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any question?
So it seems like there's a huge shortage of designers in this.
That always was, yeah. So yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that problem too.
Are you ready to pay for teaching them? We get some sort of course, but we're charging quite a lot for designers. So there's we're struggling business models that startups or entrepreneurs are not really paying the premium price for education for designers, for example. They would like to have some sort of world-class designers with a price tag of technical university student here in Latvia, something like that. It's not matching each other.
And that's a big problem, because if you're a very good designer, you're a very busy designer. That's the first problem. And only way to get a designer is to pay more than everybody else paying.
Not only we have like a mock-ups. Interesting story how we got mock-ups about our
Of
application.
course, yeah,
But
there's
yeah.
other ways. Yeah. And I kind of have this artistic background, and I can tell you there is the most of the designers, they value freedom as the highest. So it's basically free working times. That's very important.
Yeah.
It actually is it's attracting a lot. So basically, you don't have to give this 9 to 5 thing.
Of
It's not really
course,
working for designers.
nobody is working in our startup 9 to 5.
Some people like it, but
Some
not
people
designers.
like, yeah, but the programmers, the real programmers, some programmers really like strict and comfortable. They're comfortable with that they know that they will work today, tomorrow, and afterwards in exact hours and so on.
Designers are not that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time you need?
Sorry?
From what time you need right now?
Not right now, but soon. But soon. I'm like working as a founder and CEO. I'm like doing proactive recruiting. I really like to proactive recruit people, and afterwards, when I need, I know where to call and where to write or something like that.
But is there like a place in Latvia where they teach like a real designers, not like graphic designers, but designers, like people who know something about marketing and about user interface and
I think
stuff like
no.
that? So I think
No.
So that's the answer why we have shortage of the
Yeah.
designers.
It's not only in Latvia, that's anywhere.
That's everywhere.
I mean, I'm from California. It's good luck.
You're from California. From which place?
San Diego,
San Diego.
just south.
Cool. So shortage everywhere.
I know that's one of the places in Latvia where you can meet is in UX Riga conferences, which was like a week or 2 weeks ago.
They're usually busy with working in big corporations.
Have you tried the site called Dribble?
Sorry?
Dribble?
Dribble, yeah, I found some guys who are like working for Scandinavia or USA who are Latvians. Yeah, I found some.
Behance, Dribble, I mean, I've had some up there, but their designers, with all due respect, are very flaky in general. So, yeah, we have to figure out what the best
Yeah.
go through about 2025.
Yeah, of course.
Two or three, I think we did.
Because we will build 5 applications, like a 2 iOS, 2 Android, and 1 web application. And, yeah.
So what is your background?
My background is like a 2 unfinished unfinished bachelor degrees in RTU and in Riga Technical University,
Okay.
like electrical engineering and energetics and programming. But I have experience in startups like 2 years ago in a condensation reactor nanotechnology startup.
So do you have some already? Have you already built some applications before?
I'm not the builder, I'm not the programmer,
Okay,
I'm
you are
the
CEO.
organizer, I'm CEO, yeah.
Okay.
You gotta know what it is.
So you have
I can make an WordPress blog, of course, but
Okay, but-
not anything more.
So then question, do you have already projects which are bring you enough money?
No, not exactly. We are working for free, like for 4 months right now.
So basically,
But-
that's one of the most important questions in a startups. They're asking what is your how you say it, what is your sorry?
Cash flow?
Cash
No,
flow?
not cash flow. There is another word, very important word, but I always trying to remember. Let me remember. Anyway, what is your so basically, what is your numbers in money wise? That's not cash flow. Cash flow is just cash flow is just it can be in like it's money which is involved. I mean, which your business brings to you. But I mean, like that. Do you have application which already have
Traction?
a-
Traction?
traction? Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, traction.
Like,
So that's what they always asking. What is your? Do you have already some traction?
it's very
We already have like a simple application which you can use on Android, 2 Android phones, like and you do phone and video calls and also exchange documents with Dropbox. We have already that already. It's like to find some to show some demo to investor, potential investor or something like that. But and we have like a plan.
MVP.
Sorry.
It's like a pre-MVP, it's not real MVP, it's like something to show. Something to show we have, but yeah, we are like right now working on the back end, real on the back end. And afterwards, I have already good iOS programmer, Android, and like from Accenture, a guy who who are 8-year experience and like his last months had like a 50 member teams to work on projects like to competitors to YouTube and something like that from Italy and like
What's
this big
your,
experienced
What's
guys.
your project? Can you explain that? Or you have this-
My project, yeah, it's like we will help to grow businesses. It's like a B2B. There will be like a very easy way on your mobile phone to find a consultant like at 3 o'clock morning in Sunday from California, like from another place in the world, like to get consultation.
So is it like if I'm in a coffee shop and I need a lawyer right now?
Yeah.
It's a geolocation where can I find a lawyer or
Yeah,
or
like
a doctor?
Yeah, doctor not. It's not. It's like for medical issues there are this kind of platforms, but for lawyers, business consultants, and marketing and financial consultants,
Like
there are
designer, for example, you need designer like now.
like right now we would like to meet designers to some I don't know 5 designers and to
No, I mean
choose
with this
the
application, for example, you as a CEO need designer like now.
Now I'm doing proactive recruiting.
Yeah, I know.
I know that I will need after 2 or 3 months. But
Yeah,
I am
but-
starting to look right now.
Okay.
I'm looking for designer. That is what I'm
Okay.
doing.
Seems that's all for now.
That's
call
it,
it.
that's it.
Yeah, but when you call it